Welcome to the Financial Alchemist channel. Today we are going to focus on Bitcoin USD concerning the prices from peak to bottom, peak to bottom, peak to bottom. First of all, I would like to say concerning the prices, on my scale of preference is the last. I always try not to talk about the trades I had at the bottom here because it was not documented. Anybody can come and say they sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here. So I might be doing the same. Regardless, just listen to this with a grain of salt. Let's go to the technical side of things. At the bottom, I'm using my timing and everything. Let's leave the log chart. I was expecting Bitcoin USD. Let's take a range. Using technical analysis, I was expecting this in the previous cycle. Knowing all what I know, at this point, price was my number one and my scale of preference, regardless of my timing and everything, because that is what I'm used to. So, with my timing, cycles, USDT correlation and everything, I was able to get in at the FTX crash, which was around here. So this was just the first entry. I was hoping it would get to this price because it kind of tested these key levels on the chart. Which didn't happen. After we closed the November month and we went higher, I knew I had missed the train because I was kind of guaranteed the bottom would happen in November. And as at January, we had already blown up and I knew I had missed the train. And re-entering is risky because you don't know how far the pullbacks can get. So you can get rid of this. So fortunately for me, I say fortunately because of the chart pattern, I got in. I was able to re-enter around here, and my stops were around here. That's kind of huge as compared to this. Fortunately for me, we had this chart pattern right about here. This chart pattern, which is an inverse head and shoulder. So this chart pattern played. We broke out, came to retest this neckline and was heading higher on the lower time frame. So I got in around here. This was quite fortunate. I'm saying this because yes, this was our bottom. Yes, this is an inverse head and shoulder. We can still break this down, come and form a double bottom and continue our trade without breaking this low, and still my trade will be valid or my analysis will be valid. And that didn't happen. So I was quite lucky for this to play out for me to enter the second time. I should have entered here and not waited for a specific price point like 10,000, 12,000, 13,000. So you have to put that in mind. Putting that in mind, this cycle, this peak cycle I'm doing, yes, I'm talking about prices here. That's going to be the last on my list. So no matter the prices, I assume we'll get to, as long as 1, we are at all-time high, 2, using the Bitcoin dominance, I want to see something there. USDT dominance as well, I want to see something there. I'll be comfortable enough for the shorts between the October 20th to 27th, as I explained the video. So let's start to talk about price. Yes, I have it. Let me show you. I have this. This was a screenshot I took. What I'm saying, as I said, take this with a grain of salt because anyone can claim they bought or sold wherever they did. But this was the screenshot I did at that time when I entered at this price point a couple of years back. So getting back to the video, we go back to our log chart. we are trying to get an estimation for the prices over here. We know our peaks and bottoms already. The blue ones are our peaks, these yellow prices are our bottoms. But this video or these coming months, I'm focusing on the peaks, these peaks. I could see using the Fibonacci from the first resistance to the bottom. This is what I'm talking about, taking the Fibonacci to this first resistance point down to the low. You can draw this out. I want this to be as accurate as possible. So this will be 16,000. Yes, 16,000. Then this, let's go to lower time frame now. We now try and make us get all the touches. Yes, this is better. So now I'm back to the weekly. Using our Fibonacci, we can see this cycle. It has respected these Fibonacci price points 1.68, 2.68, and so on. This is something I noticed. So from the low to the next resistance level was a Fibonacci level. The next one was also Fibonacci. Similar thing here, similar thing here. So continuing this trend, it's likely we come over here, which is about 160,000. As of now, this is $157,702. We can now clone this and put it here. But as I said in the beginning, I'm not waiting for this price to hit. If it happens, that's also good, but I'm not waiting for this to hit. It's just a random price. If this happens to hit, it will be okay, but once it doesn't, I'm not going to be sad about that. So having this in mind, assuming I'm wrong on the timing, because I'm kind of 80% to 90% sure the top is going to be in October. So as now, today is the 10th of October, so about 10 days more for me to go here. I might be wrong now and the peak is in. So how would I know? I have this contingency plan. If I don't get the actual peak or close to the actual peak and my timing or date is wrong, here you might call me lucky or something, but here I kind of have my contingency plan. On the log chart, once you get your trend line from the low to the high, you see on the log this trend line, however you like to draw it, majority of the candles of the wicks. This is a touch, this is a touch. So once we close below, yes, we can now come to the daily. This is not a break. I already said in my previous video, we can break trend line but not break structure. The trend is still valid. So here, this is our structure, our support zone. Once we haven't broken this, the trend is still valid. This can also be a structure zone. So if we break this trend line, I wouldn't get my hopes high because we can come here and continue higher. So if I'm wrong on the dates and we have peaked as at now and we break this trend line, I'll enter normally as a trader and look for some entry levels and everything. But as at now, it hasn't broken, so I'm still expecting this to go higher, wherever it wants to go, not necessarily 157,000 or in a 160s. So we are still watching and seeing. If I don't get the exact day, we are waiting for the break. Enter normally, look for some structures, and for the short to at least this level. If it breaks, then I'm still right, but got the date wrong. So it's still a wait and see approach as at now, and I'm still hoping on the 20th top. There's no reason that wouldn't play out, because that was what held me in the bottom. We'll see if that will still be valid at this peak. I'm kind of happy this retracement is happening at this point. Once you start to see bullish candles and create new all-time highs, it gives me more confirmation. This is much better than we going higher into this. So I preferred what is happening now. We go lower, then create our all-time high later. That's how we get that kind of wick kind of entry. So concerning the peaks, you kind of have to enter prematurely because there is no confirmation anyway. If you use your normal trading knowledge, just like the bottom here, no one will enter over here because of there is nothing here plating to support or anything. As you can see, you would have to wait for confirmation as a trader and see all this, which might not happen at this peak, because here you might say it happened double top. If you know the timing right, you might get it. What if we get something like this, just a wick up on a weekly and we start dropping? So the first entry, we all know, is kind of risky. We don't have any confirmation aside those confluences on the USDT charts and the timing as well. To be extra safe, once you go to the monthly, we are kind of 90 to 95% sure our peak is going to happen in October. So how am I saying this? I explained this in the previous video. From bottom to peak, 35 months. Bottom to peak, 35 months. Assuming it repeats, which we all know history doesn't repeat, but just assuming it repeats, from bottom to peak, 35 months from the bottom of November 2022 will give us October. So the safest option in this my analysis is one, we wait for the monthly close. So let's go back to the monthly. We wait for the monthly close of October. So by the time this closes, we should get a peak price. So using this as an example, we should get a peak price and close below, so that we are kind of guaranteed or have confirmation that price, we are never going to head there again. So you can wait to enter your trade on your 1st November. But that scenario will be profitable if the close is kind of close to the all-time high. Assuming this was our peak price, we blow all the way here. Then at the 31st of November, we come in close at 94,000. This time, luck might not be on your side for you to now say, yes, this is a confirmation, this is our all-time high, so we are never going to pass our all-time high. You can enter here, and the price can still go back up to about here, then drop, taking you out. So we might not know what might play out and all. It's still a wait and see approach. But as of now, I'm still waiting for the October 20th, from 20th to 27th of October, to see what I'll do and other confluences concerning the price. If I'm wrong on the timing and this trend line breaks, that's when I'll enter as a normal trader, wait for some support and resistance zones and other Fibonacci retracements and all that. If that doesn't happen as at now, or as at the peak, I'm going in for the short at all-time high in the week 20th October 2025. Welcome back. Just as I was about to release this video, this is what occurred on this day. News on Trump, 100% tariff on China. This has caused a lot of FUD in the market. So just wanted to update. As at now, everything is still valid for me. Nothing changes as at now. Taking my trend line from here to here, this looks like the third touch of the trend line going to the daily. So first touch, this is second touch, and we already know this is not a break. One structure is still there. The trend is still valid. So this is not considered a break of trend line because of the structure or support line. So first, second, this is our third. So this is looking like, this is likely the third touch of the trend line going to our all-time high. Or the other side, I might be wrong, and this is our October peak, which happened earlier than I anticipated. But I'm not changing my view unless we break below this. Even we breaking below this, for me to completely change my view, I need to break below 99,000. Let's go to our log chart, and remember my contingency plan is still the same. Unless we have broken trend line, then I'll be wary. And the trend line I just drew a few hours ago, it just touched this. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth touch. Let's go back to the daily. This hasn't closed yet. We have about 56 minutes to close. I doubt we are going to close below. But as at now, nothing still changes. I'm still hoping for higher prices in BTC USD. Unless this breaks and closes below, then we look and see how everything is looking like. I've spoken a little about USDT dominance. Just like here, in my USDT dominance video, I spoke about we having a bottom sideways to the top. So I was anticipating bottom sideways to the top, but our top will be on 20th, not this early. But as at now as well, nothing changes. This is just a week. It hasn't yet broken. Go back to the weekly. 2 days more for the week to close. So this is just a week. It's just a wait and see approach. But as of now, nothing changes because nothing has broken. Nothing has broken yet. We are still in between all-time high, and this is holding our trend as of now. This is what I wanted to add to this sudden move that just occurred on the 10th, the same day, within the past hour or two. So let's see how it goes.